Hi there, students. Thank you for being part of this presentation. My name is Luis Silva. I am your American government teacher, and today we're going to be focusing on the Bill of Rights, the first 10 amendments to the United States Constitution. But before we keep on going, I want to give you some background information as to the why of the Bill of Rights. We had a group of founding fathers known as the Anti-Federalists. The Anti-Federalists felt that the U.S. Constitution did not go all the way to protect the rights of people. So therefore, in order for them to support the Constitution, a Bill of Rights had to be added to the Constitution, and that is where we begin. The First Amendment. The First Amendment guarantees the freedom of religion, the freedom of speech, the freedom of the press, the freedom of assembly, and petition. This basically means that you can practice any religion, you can speak freely as long as you're not promoting hate speech, you have the right to assemble, meet, you have the right to address the government or petition the government, you have the right to publish newspapers, TV, radio, and internet, the press. The Second Amendment to the United States Constitution basically said that anybody or gave the right for people to bear arms, which means the right to own a weapon, a gun. This is an amendment that has created chaos because we've seen lately how weapons have been used to kill innocent people at schools and at different places. So a lot of people are actually complaining about this amendment. They're saying that the amendment needs some type of restriction in order to protect the people. The Third Amendment to the United States Constitution says, "No soldier shall in time of peace be quartered in any house without the consent of the owner, nor in time of war, but in a manner to be prescribed by law." So basically, the military cannot come in and tell you, guess what, we're going to stay today in your house, because that's actually breaking the law. And, this amendment had a reason, as this had actually happened when the British had soldiers here in America, and soldiers would actually be staying at people's houses without their consent many times. So in this case, you cannot be forced to lend your house or give your house to quarter soldiers. The Fourth Amendment to the United States Constitution protects the people from unreasonable searches and seizures. This means that the police must have a warrant to enter our homes. It also means the government cannot take our property, papers, or us without a valid warrant based on probable cause or good reason. By the way, the warrant has to be authorized by a judge. The Fifth Amendment protects people from being held for committing a crime unless they are properly indicted, accused. You may not be tried twice for the same crime. There's no double jeopardy. You don't have to testify against yourself. This is called self-incrimination. And also, the entire process is known as the due process of the law. The Sixth Amendment. The Sixth Amendment guarantees a speedy trial. You can't be kept in jail for over a year without a trial. An impartial jury has to be there for you to find you guilty or not guilty. The accused can confront witnesses against them. The accused must be allowed to have an attorney. Now, this is a little bit tricky because the way our system works, if you cannot afford an attorney, the state will give you an attorney, but the attorney does not work for you all the time. I mean, the attorney may tell you, hey, guess what? Declare yourself, guilty, and you're going to get a lesser penalty or fine. And many times you may be innocent, but then again, you're being provided an attorney, and the attorney is not always looking out for your best interest. The Seventh Amendment to the United States Constitution basically guarantees the right to a speedy trial. This is a little deceiving because a speedy trial could be 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months. So I don't know. To me, a speedy trial could be a week, 2 weeks, but not months. And in this case, the way our system is set up right now, a speedy trial basically means months. By the way, a civil trial differs from a criminal trial. A civil trial is when someone sues someone else. For example, if you're the landlord of an apartment building and the tenant does not want to pay you, you sue the tenant. That would be a civil trial. A criminal trial is when the state tries to convict someone of a crime. Fairly simple and straightforward. Now, the 8th Amendment to the United States Constitution guarantees that punishment will be fair and not cruel. In other words, if you committed a crime or a minor crime, you can't be like put to death for that. So the 8th Amendment guarantees that you will not be put to death because you went to a store and robbed a candy, or you went or were driving and you committed a misdemeanor or an infraction because you ran a red light. So you can't be tried severely for an action that does not merit that consequence. So basically, no cruel and unusual punishment. The 9th Amendment says that all rights not stated in the Constitution and not forbidden by the Constitution belong to the people. This means that the states can do what they want if the Constitution does not forbid it. The 10th Amendment to the United States Constitution states that any power not granted to the federal government belongs to the states or the people. Now this, what we just reviewed, is what we know as the Bill of Rights. Very important document that was added to the United States Constitution. Nowadays we have 27 amendments. Those 27 amendments are the basis for the rule of law of the United States. Now, if you have learned anything from this presentation, please make sure to subscribe and make sure to follow us, as we will continue to bring new content about world history, U.S. history, and basically government and economics. And do not forget, please subscribe.